Okay, here's another pure mixture problem. How much of a 30% alcohol solution would need to be mixed with 500 milliliters of a 75% alcohol solution to obtain a 50% solution? All right, well, before I start working this problem, let's make sure we understand the concept here. A 30% alcohol solution would be like having a container, we'll say it's full, and 30% of what's in that container is alcohol. That's about a third. Okay? It's a 30%. So this part is alcohol, pure alcohol. This part right here is, well, I won't put the 30 there because that confuses you, but this part is pure alcohol. This part is water. And when you mix the two, you end up with a 30% alcohol solution. That's what that means. And so when you combine something like this with another container, okay, and this container is going to be 75% alcohol, well, that's like saying this much of my container is pure alcohol and the rest is water. So when I combine these two, I'm combining different amounts of alcohol, different amounts of water, okay? That's the idea in the problem. All right, now let's approach this problem mathematically so that we can work it. It's a great problem for the box because it is a pure mixture problem. So I've got my set of 9 boxes here. Okay, now my rate column is in the middle. In this case, in one of these chemistry problems, my rates are my percents. Remember that a percent is a rate, percent. Per means divide, cent refers to the number 100, and so percent means to divide by 100. So it's a number divided by 100. It's a ratio set of units. All right, so my rates are percents. My amounts, for this problem, my amounts are going to be in milliliters. All right, so when you multiply milliliters times percents, then you get a number that is also in milliliters. The percent doesn't really change the units. Okay, so for this problem, it says how much do I need? Well, I'm mixing a 30% alcohol solution with a 75% alcohol solution, and I'm getting a 50% alcohol solution. Okay, these are the kinds of things that I'm mixing. I'm mixing these two to get this one. All right, so my rates are going to be 30%. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change my percents to a decimal. Since I'll do some math to get this final value column, I'm going to go ahead and change these to a decimal. So I just move the decimal over 2 places. 0.3, 0.75, I don't know why I put an extra 0 there, and 0.50. Now, I don't need the extra 0 on the 50 and the 30, right? As far as amounts go, it says, how much do I need of the 30%? I don't know what that is. But I know that I'm going to mix it with 500 milliliters of the 75%. So I'm going to put the number 500 right here. Now remember that the rule was that you always add these 2 boxes to get this one. These 2 must always add to get this one. Well, he doesn't tell me how much of my final solution that I have, but he doesn't need to because I can just add those 2 boxes to get that 3rd box. So this is a mixture problem that uses all 6 of these boxes. Now, remember that to get this final column, you multiply going across, and then that equals what goes over here. So x times 0.3 is 0.3x. 500 times 0.75 is 0.75 times 500. Remember that I'll save my math to do later when I'm working the equation. And then the last row is 0.5 times 500 plus x. It's so much better if you save the math to do inside the equation. So my equation always comes off the final value column, and I always add the first two boxes to get the last box. So I add 0.3x plus 0.75 times 500 equals 0.5 times 500 plus x. Okay, so I have 0.3x plus 0.75 times 500. Well, I'm going to change this to 3/4 times 500 because I'm not using a calculator. I could go ahead and do it in decimals if I wanted to, but I just think the math there might be a little bit easier. And then 0.5 times 500 is real easy because 5 times 5 is 25. And I would normally add the two zeros, but I'm going to add one less zero because this decimal moves it back one. Plus 0.5x. So when I do this multiplying, 4 goes into 500. Well, it goes into 5 once, and I have 1 left. It goes in twice, and I have 2 left, and it goes in 5 times. So now I have 0.3x plus 3 times 125, which is 375, equals 250 plus 0.5x. If you do smart math, you don't need a calculator. All right, now I think what I'm going to do is move the 250 over here. It's just a choice that I make. All right, so 0.3x plus, this is 125, equals 0.5x. And now I'm going to move the 0.3x over there. So I have 125 equals 0.2x. Now 0.2 is 1/5. Here again, I'm going to change how I look at this math. So this is going to be 1/5 x. Well, how do I move that 1/5? I move it by multiplying by 5. All right, now my 5's cancel. And over here I have 625 equals x. So I've written the equation based off of this last column of boxes. I've solved the equation. I found x. Now I need to read the problem and answer the question. And the question was, how much of a 30% alcohol solution would need to be mixed? So I'm looking for how much of a 30% alcohol solution. Well, in my table, the amount of the 30% is x. So x answers my question. I just need to put the units on my answer. So x equals 625 milliliters.